Hello everyone, my name is Lorraine. I'm from Canada. I have a Verbling class for you at the pre-intermediate level. In this class, we're going to discuss the stages of life from, when you're a baby to when you are an old person. There is a lot of vocabulary included in how we describe each of those stages in English. We'll look at that vocabulary in this lesson, and we'll also discuss the cultural differences of everybody in the class as to what we do in life stages and what's normal in your country. So we're waiting for people to join me here in the class. Hopefully there are more people than I had in the class just before this one. Classes are a lot easier and more enjoyable when there are lots of students in them. So if you have reservations for this class, and a number of people do, please come on into the class so we can get started. And if you are just viewing this class and you're interested in joining us, I think it only takes about 5 minutes for the people with reservations to join, and then you will also see a join button and you can join us here in the class. So as I said, this class is called Stages of Life, and we're looking at the vocabulary that you need to talk about life stages. And we have Snigdha. Hi, how are you doing?
Hi teacher, I am good. Thanks for asking.
I'm very glad to see you in the class because last class I had very few people. So I wondered, did you have difficulty getting into the class, Snigdha, or it's easy?
Actually, I have a connection problem. Don't know since last 3 or 4 days.
Oh
It is
dear. I just wondered because I have lots of people who have reserved the class, but they're not here. So anyway, I'm glad you're here. How has your week been so far?
uh, it's as usual. Follows the daily routine.
Okay, so sometimes the daily routine is good and sometimes it's not so good. What's your weather like?
Uh, in New York, the weather is not going not so well because since last 4 to 5 days, it is sometimes rain,
Hmm.
and sometimes it's too hot, and sometimes getting too cold. This
Oh,
kind
it's a
of
real a mixture.
yeah. But we can't hardly can't find any sun or any uh, some coldness. It's
Hmm.
like humidity
Oh,
problem.
really? Wow. Here where I am, further north of you, the last 2 weeks have been amazing, gorgeous weather. We've had sunshine and not much wind and no rain. It's been the best weather of the summer. So I've
Please,
really enjoyed it.
please send us some sunshine.
Well, we don't have any today, so maybe it's gone your way.
No, but today is also gloomy weather.
Oh, still, eh? Good word, gloomy. Very good. Well, let's get started with this lesson because otherwise nothing's going to happen. So, you get a private lesson today, Snigdha.
That's my pleasure.
There we go. But you get to do all the work too. So, we have a number of stages of life here on the left. From a child to, well, they're all different. So there are certain ages that we associate with each of these stages. So for instance, a child. What age do you think a child would be? It's an age range.
I think it would be 1 to 2. It's B.
Okay, 1 to 2, we have a different word for that. It's
Okay, okay,
before a child.
okay, okay. Mm, then it should be E.
Yeah,
From 2 to 12.
yeah. So after 12, we get into the words or the numbers that end in teen. So we have
Mm-hmm.
13 all the way to 19, and that's going to be a different stage. What stage do you think a baby is?
Baby is 0 to 1.
Mm-hmm. And what about the adult?
Adults, it's 18 plus.
Yeah. Is that the same in the US?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
because in Canada, about 10 or 15 years ago, it used to be 21 before you were an adult, but they changed it to 18. I wasn't sure if it's the same in the States. Okay,
okay.
so the next one is a toddler. What do you think a toddler is?
It is from 1 to 2.
Yeah, because that's the stage where the baby is up on its feet, it starts to walk, but that funny way that babies walk, we call
Mm-hmm.
that a toddle. They toddle along. It's a type of walking that is very typical of babies. I think, I don't know, partially because they have a diaper on or but that's how we get the name toddler. It is a baby that is up walking. It's a toddler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when we use the expression in your 20s, we're talking about what age?
20 to 30.
Mm-hmm. And if you're in your 30s?
30 to 40.
Mm-hmm. And if you're middle-aged, what age group is that?
I think it's 40 to 75.
Okay, some people would say it's 40 to 100, but yeah, 40 to 75. Retired.
60 to 65 plus.
Yeah, it can start at 60. Many people wait till they're 65 before they retire. Some people never retire, so that's why we have the plus there. Some of them never retire.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one is a teenager.
13 to 17.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you could include 18 and 19 for many of them. They're still teenagers even if they are adults. Okay, so let's see. We'll put these into the sentences now. Read the sentence and put what you think should go on the line.
Mm-hmm. Kate is 27, so she is still 30s in her 30s.
In her 30s, if she's 27?
Oh,
Oops, did we lose you? No! Snigdha, I can't hear you. Hello?
hello.
There,
Now
okay, you're back. Okay, so she's still,
in her 20s.
yeah, in her 20s, yeah. Good. Continue.
Sanjay stopped work last month. He is now retired.
Retired, yes. Say it again. Retired.
Retired.
Good. All right. Number 3.
Jane is 17. She isn't quite teenager yet.
She is a teenager at 17. She
Okay.
isn't quite.
She isn't quite A child.
True, she isn't quite a child and she isn't quite a,
Adult yet.
yeah, she isn't quite an adult yet.
An adult yet.
Yeah, in one more year, she'll be an adult. Okay, number 4.
Rob is 45, but he still behaves like a young man. He doesn't feel middle-aged.
Right, he doesn't feel middle-aged. I don't feel middle-aged either. Number 5.
Jack had his first girlfriend when he was about 15 years old. Okay. When he was a teenager.
Mm-hmm. And number 6.
Jeff is 38 and his wife is 33. They are both in their 30s.
They are both in their 30s. Good. Number 7.
Amy isn't 2 yet. She's still a toddler.
A toddler, yeah. And number 8.
William is 30 now. He is no longer a child.
A child. Good. Are there any questions about those?
No.
Okay. Pretty simple. All right, so we're going to answer the questions about your own country. It's up to you. Actually, you can maybe answer for 2 different countries. So, at what age can you legally drive in the United States?
I think it's 18 plus for all the maximum countries.
Okay. So, and you're from where? Pakistan?
I'm from India.
From India, okay. Sorry. And in India, it's the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. At what age can you legally work?
There is no specification, but after completing your graduation, you can do any kind of job.
Okay. And is that true for the United States and India?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. In Canada, you can legally work at 16.
Okay.
So you will see many 16-year-olds working at places like McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts or anything like that because they can legally work at that age. And in Canada, you can quit school at 16.
Okay. I think Canada and USA are both same like this because we can find sometime students I think college students are working in McDonald's or KFC. They are usually working like this. I think it should be not 18 for USA. But in India, you have to be 18 plus to
Is that
do
right?
a job.
And yet it's in places like India where there's problems with child labor. But it is against the law to do that, to make children work. Yeah, interesting.
But we can find it is a very common thing because of their financial condition.
Right.
People used to, I think they compelled to do that kind of jobs.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was wondering. I mean, even in, well, any country, I know in Canada there are children, I mean, they can't work full time, but many 12-year-olds are already selling newspapers. Like they have paper routes and they go around. Even when I was a child, we had paper routes where we could do this job and get paid for it. But of course, you can't work full time. You must go to school until you are 16 in Canada. You must attend school. After 16, you don't have to attend school if you don't want to.
Okay.
At what age can you legally smoke in the US?
I don't know exactly because most of the teenager we can find they usually smoke.
Yeah, but not legally. In Canada, you need to be 18 years old before you can buy cigarettes. You have to show identification proving that you are 18.
Okay.
But like you say, many children smoke before they're 18. They get their cigarettes from other people. They get their 18-year-old friend to buy them, or in some cases they take them from their parents, or maybe even the parents buy them. I don't know. But legally,
I
you
think
have to be
I think
18.
it is the problem of every country because in India we also find that some college students are smoking, and here we can find they openly smoke in streets or in front of bars and pubs. We can find them easily
Yeah.
smoking.
Yeah, that's it's crazy. Do you think there are as many young people starting to smoke now as when you were young? Like when you were in your teens?
Mm, Yeah, we can find because most of the students they have to be show that they are quite mature enough. Uh,
Mm,
so
right. They think it makes them look older.
yeah, right.
Okay. So when do most people retire in India?
In India, their government in government sectors, we can find that after 60 you have to be a retired person. But in private sector, we can find 58. After 58, most of the people retired from their jobs.
Oh, wow. That's very young. What about in the US? When do people retire?
I think here we can find flexibility of retirement age because we can find some professors like their 70s, 72, 73 something, but they are doing their job quite well.
Hmm. In some cases, the retirement age has to do when you can receive your Social Security. So here in Canada, for my age group, we get our Social Security, can start at 60, but you take a reduced amount of money per month if you take it at 60. So you can wait until you're 65 and you will get your maximum amount of Social Security per month. So many people will keep working until they are 65. Now they have new rules for people who are not in my age bracket, who are younger. They will have to work until they are 67 before they can get their Social Security. So it's a little different now. What about in the US? When do people receive Social Security? How old are they?
I don't know exactly
Okay.
because I don't have to deal with some people like that.
Right. Of course, now that I have mentioned it, I'm sure that you will hear something on the news or you go, okay, that's when it happens. Okay, in let's see, number 5. When do people go to university?
I think after 18, we both in India and US we can find people go to university.
Can you repeat that, please? I was typing. Sorry,
Okay,
I didn't hear
no
you.
problem. I think both in India and US, I think there is after 18 students should go to university.
Yeah, okay, that's about the same in Canada, possibly 17, depending on when you started school, because sometimes people they start school when they're a little bit younger because of when their birthday is. So you'll be either 17 or 18 when you finish high school, and then people go to university.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How old were you? Did you go to university?
Yeah, yeah.
How
Mm,
old were you?
I was then 20 when I am doing my masters. I was doing my masters. It was 20.
Okay. All right. So we have some people who have joined us in the class, which is great. We have, can you introduce yourself? It looks like Note or Note.
Yes, no. Can you hear me? Sorry?
Yes, I can hear you, although it's noisy.
Thank you. I phone just not in condition now.
Okay, it's very difficult to hear what you say because of the noise.
Oh, so you can hear me?
It's
Sorry.
That's all right. Where are you from?
Thailand.
From Thailand. Okay. Well, welcome. Welcome to the class. And hi, Aka Ken. There you are.
Yes, hello, how are you?
I'm good. When you wrote hi, I didn't
Yeah,
see you in the class.
I
It was
see. Sometimes my bubbling chat these days is strange.
yeah. It's
Maybe using
been
Google Chat is good.
it's a very strange day today.
Yeah,
Things are
these
not really
days
working
my
well.
bubbling chat was not visible, or even though visible, sometimes a teacher cannot see my message on
Yeah.
bubbling chat. Okay.
Well, I saw your message. I didn't see you.
In the
So
classroom?
in the class, you weren't
I
there
see.
until.
That's strange. That's strange. Oh my God.
Oh well.
Okay.
There must be, I don't know, a full moon or something. Things are strange. So in this class, we're talking about life stages and the different things that happen at different times of your life. We just talked about the legal age for driving, where we decided at most places it's around anywhere between 16 and 18. Here in Canada, you can be 16. Other places, 18. The same for legally working. In Canada, it's 16, and other places, it's 18. What about legally smoking? Aka-ken in Japan?
Legally smoking 20.
20, you have to be 20.
Yeah, smoking, drinking 20.
And are
But,
there many people who smoke before they're 20?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Yeah. And when do people go to university in Thailand? Note. Note. Are you there?
Yes.
When do people go to university? Okay, I'm sorry, Note, I can't hear you. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go on. We have some sentences here about Mario, and they are mixed up. And what we want to do here is put them in the right order of his life stages. starting from the earliest to the latest. Note, can you please mute your microphone so we don't hear all the noise from your background? Thank you. That's much better. Good. All right. So let's start with Aka Ken. Which of these sentences do you think was the first one or is the first one? Aka Ken? Unmute
Sorry.
you. There we
He
go.
was a toddler.
Okay, so he grew up in Milan because his family moved there when he was a toddler.
That sentence.
Okay.
But he needs to be born before that.
I think so. He was born somewhere. Where was he born?
Mario was born in Rome.
That's our first one. Yeah, good. He was born in Rome. And Snigdha, what's the next sentence?
He grew up in Milan because his family moved there when he was a toddler.
That's correct. Good. Okay. Note, do you want to try the next sentence? What number? Which sentence? Number 3. Okay. Aka Ken, can you do number 3?
Okay. To grew up in Milan because his family was moved and 2 years later, in their 30s, they had no. This is not when he was 18. He moved to London in order to go to university.
That's the one. Yeah, when he was 18. Excellent. Snigdha, after he moved to London to go to university, what happened?
He graduated from university and got a job in London.
Exactly. Good. Okay, note. Okay, you're still trying to solve the mic problem? All right, and he's gone. Okay, Aka Ken.
Okay. University in London, and he met Susan when he was 25, and they started to go out.
Okay. Let's see if that's right. Yes, it is. Good. Snigdha?
They broke up 2 years later.
Okay. And Aka Ken?
They go back together in their early 30s, fell in love, and decide to get married.
All right, good. And then Snigdha, what happened?
2 years later, in their mid-30s, they had a baby.
Good. And the last thing that happened, Aka Ken.
Last. Where? Sadly, the marriage did not last very long, and they got divorced in their late 30s.
Good. All right. So that's unfortunate. Have a baby, and there she is, a single mom. Okay, are there any questions about those life stages? Pretty simple. All right, now you'll notice, I'm going to go back to that. You'll see that there are a number of things that are in bold. They're all verbs. You might need the document for this so that you can look at it. I'll post it again. Because in this next section, you have to put the bolded verbs on the correct lines in these sentences. So let's start with Snigdha. Number 1.
When Ron is not used to city life, he moved to in the countryside.
Okay, the sentence that is on the worksheet, if you take a look at what I've got on the screen share, the word when should not be there. It's just Ron is not used to city life. You'll notice that the last phrase is in the countryside. So you can't say he moved to in the countryside.
Okay. He grew up in the countryside.
That's correct. Yeah, he grew up. Good. Akaken, number 2.
After 4 years of study, Susan finally graduated.
She graduated. And I think from university was part of the bolded, but graduated is correct. Good. Snigdha, number 3.
After 5 years of arguments, the married couple finally decided to broke up.
You can't decide to broke up. Broke up is in the past.
Yeah. Finally, the married couple finally decided to got divorced.
Okay, so try to use the correct tense. You could say, the first one you said broke up. You could say they decided to break up. That would be correct. But a better one would be the second one you used.
Get divorced.
Yeah, get divorced. Divorced. Okay, good. Akaken, number 4.
Jackie met a charming young man. She almost immediately was fall in love with him.
Okay, but what is the correct tense for this?
She almost immediately fell in love. Yeah.
Yes, fell in love. Yeah. Fell in love. Good. And Snigdha, number 5.
Michael's relationship didn't last very long. They broke up after only 1 month.
Correct. Good. Akaken.
Boris tried to blank with his ex-girlfriend, however, she wasn't interested. Try to recover or get back.
Yeah.
Get back.
Get back together.
Together.
Get back together. Sometimes people will just say get back with. It means the same thing. A little bit more informal, but get back together is the correct way of saying it. Good. Snigdha?
After 2 years of marriage, Robert and Claire wanted to start a family, so they decided to have a baby.
Okay, good. And Akaken, number 8.
Okay. When Paul was 18, he didn't want to work in his father's music business. So he decided blank and study engineering. So he decided to quit.
Is quit in there?
Work. Decided to go to the the university, to enter the university.
Okay. Go to university.
Go to
So we
university.
decided to go to university and study engineering.
Maybe
All right.
in British English, the university, and American Canadian English, just university.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would say the university if you are talking about a specific university.
Mhm.
So, say you're talking about Stanford University, then you
Mhm.
would say, I'm going to go to the university,
Mhm.
because you're talking about that specific one.
I
But
see.
when you're talking about just generally going to university, you don't need the article because it's not anything specific. It's just a higher education. It's like going to high school or going to grammar school. The grammar school is a specific one.
Mhm.
The high school is a specific one.
Okay.
Okay?
Mhm. Okay.
So we don't know what university he went to. All right, so now you're going to choose one of these sentences and make up a sentence that's true about you. Okay, so you're just going to use the phrases that we put in. For instance, let me do one. I grew up in a small town, and now I prefer to live in small towns. So I use grew up. Snigdha, try one.
Mhm. When I when I went to university after 2 years, I graduated from the university.
Okay, so you actually used two of them because go to university is the present tense. You used went to university, which is the past form, which is fine. You don't need to say from university if you have already used the word university. So I went to university, and after 2 years, I graduated.
Graduated.
Mhm. Good. Well done. Akaken?
Okay. I grew up in the suburb.
Okay. You grew up in the suburbs. All right. Let me try another one. When I was very young, I got married, but the marriage only lasted for 9 months, and then I got divorced. Okay, Snigdha, your turn.
Mhm. When I was in high school, I mm, fall in love with my husband.
Okay, but when you're talking about high school, it's in the past.
Mhm.
So you have to use the past tense of the verb.
Fall in love.
Fall in love is present tense.
Oh, sorry, fell in love.
Yes, okay. When I was in high school, I fell in love with my husband. Good. Akaken.
I decided to go to university and study English.
Okay, very good. Let's see. My husband and I were married for 6 years before we decided to have a baby. Snigdha?
Mhm. Mhm. When when we have some when we have some problems, then we try to get back together and sort out the problem.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Aka-Ken, one more, and then we'll move on.
After 4 years of study, I graduated from university.
Okay, very good. You kind of stole that one.
But yeah, that's a real story.
That's okay. All right, so let's see. This is celebrity quiz. This is kind of a silly thing because you probably won't know the answers to most of these questions. But let's try them. We can make guesses and then find out the answer. So, Snigdha, read the first one, please.
Barack Obama grew up in Indonesia.
True or false?
I think it's false.
Okay.
It's
Aka-Ken,
false.
what do you think?
I think he grew up in Indonesia and Hawaii too.
Okay, so do you think this is true or false?
True.
Okay, so we have one false, one true, and let's see what it is. This is true. So Barack Obama, I know that he speaks basic Indonesian, so I was thinking this must be part of his life was in Indonesia. All right. Aka-Ken, read number 2.
Yeah, the actress Elizabeth Taylor got divorced 7 times. I think more. I don't know about that.
Okay, so do you think this is true or false?
Oh, false.
Okay, and Snigdha, what do you think?
I think it's false.
Okay, so let's see. It's true. Elizabeth Taylor did get divorced 7 times. She did a lot of marrying and divorcing. Okay, so continuing on with Elizabeth Taylor, Snigdha, read the next one.
Elizabeth Taylor got married to the same man 3 times.
True or false?
I think it's true.
Okay, and Aka-Ken, what do you think?
Yeah, maybe it's true. Yeah.
Okay, this one is false
Oh, false.
because Elizabeth Taylor got married to Richard Burton only twice.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, not 3 times, just twice. Very strange. Okay, I think it's Aka-Ken's turn to read.
Okay, Lady Gaga went to Oxford University. Went to means she entered Oxford University.
Yes, it means the same thing. We commonly say, I went to whatever school it is.
I heard she came from the very rich family in New York. Probably that I've never heard of she graduated from or entered Oxford University, so false.
Okay, Snigdha?
I think it's true.
Okay, we have one true, one false, and it is false. She did not go to Oxford University. I don't know if we know where she went, but okay, Snigdha, number 5.
Bill Gates got married in 1991. I think it's true.
Okay, Aka-Ken, what do you think?
I have no idea.
Make a guess.
True.
Okay, let's see what it is. It is true. He did get married in 1991. All right. Aka-Ken?
Michael Jackson was born in 1968. I think he's older than that, so it's false.
Okay. Snigdha, what do you think?
Yeah, it should be false.
Okay. This is false. He was born in 1958. So, yeah, he was a lot older than 10 years older than that. Okay. Snigdha, number 7.
Britney Spears was married for 55 hours. It's true.
Okay, Aka-Ken, what do you think? Is that
I think
true?
it's true. Yeah, I've read the article. Yeah, about this.
It's true. Crazy, eh? 55 hours. Well, that's short. I thought being married for only 9 months was short, but she has me beat. Okay, number 8, Aka-Ken.
Okay, Oscar winner Natalie Portman graduated from Harvard University in 2003. Yeah, she looks intelligent, so it should be true. I don't know.
Snito, what do you think?
I think it's false.
Okay, let's see. It's true. I guess she looked intelligent enough. Okay, and number 9, Snigdha.
J.K. Rowling had a baby when she was 17. It's false, I think.
Okay, Aka-Ken.
She was a single mother, I heard, probably. So probably it's true. I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you know who J.K. Rowling is? What did she do?
To write Harry Potter.
Yeah, she wrote Harry Potter, so no, she did not have a baby when she was 17. But they didn't give me any information about whether she had one when she was 18 or later on. Okay, good. So that's just talking about different people's life stages. So now we're at a talking portion. We have 10 minutes. We'll talk a little bit about any of these topics. So we have, do you think it's better to grow up in the city or the countryside? I personally think it's best to grow up in the countryside. I think that children need to have that connection with the earth. And in the city, there's not enough connection. They tend to end up doing things like going to cinemas, going to the mall. There are so many distractions for them. So I think countryside is the best. Snigdha, what do you think?
As I grew up in a suburban area, so that I think it is good for grew up in countryside or suburban area, because I think if we grow up in cities, we are we will more concrete. We can't we have no feelings or sentiment, or we can't know what we are properly. So I think I prefer a countryside or suburban area for growing up.
Okay, good. Aka-Ken, what about you? What do you think?
I grew up in the suburb of the city, so keep in touch with the nature. At the same time, I sometimes go to the city side. So
okay, but we're talking about whether children
it could be pretty
should
American
grow up in the city or in the country.
Polarized debate. That's a pretty American thing. I think both sides has advantages and disadvantages. But if I choose one, maybe countryside would be better for children, because original film made of touching earth or
Right.
grew up in the nature, not in the concrete. So countryside is better. Yeah.
All right, so everybody in this group agrees with that one. Okay, so do people in your country get married at an early age? And of course, what do you consider an early age? Aka, can you go first on this one?
Actually, no, nowadays. Maybe average marriage age here, both men is a bit higher, 31, and woman 30.
Oh, wow.
Well, man is 32 or something, so it's getting older and older, or older.
Yeah. That means then children are being born to older couples. So
Hmm.
a woman is having her first baby when she
Hmm.
is at least 30 or
Hmm.
31.
Right. That might be influence to the, reduction of childbirth or children's population. Is
Hmm.
cost of education and maybe late marriage influence to this issue, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that this trend is a good trend or a bad one? Because
Hmm.
like used to be that people got married and started having children in their
Hmm.
early to mid 20s.
Hmm.
But I think you're right. In all countries, the age of marriage is getting older.
Hmm.
So, is this a good trend or a bad one, do you think?
Maybe the lifestyle changes with the time actually.
Hmm.
So maybe people want to have more freedom than ever. And another problem, the economy is not good. So some people,
Mm,
uh, especially men, cannot get the partner to marriage with
right.
because of the economic situation.
Okay.
So so maybe that's a reality in Japan
Okay.
now.
Okay, Snigdha, I want you to talk about India when it comes to the age that people get married. What is normal in India?
Uh, Previously, in India, we have trends like early marriage. Uh, mm, uh, it should be girls are should be when they are 18 or 19, or before 21. Uh,
Hmm.
mm, at the most, I think it is 21 is was the uh, very old age to getting married. But
Yes.
nowadays, because people are more conscious about their careers and professions, so they used to get married in mid 20s or early 30s.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's sort of a worldwide thing. It's the same here in Canada, whereas I was, let's see, 26 when I married my second husband, and I didn't have children until I was 30. But most people in my age group were getting married in their early 20s, even late teens, early 20s. And my first marriage, I was in my late teens. So that didn't work out very well. Uh, so now in Canada, I would say people are somewhere around 30 when they get married. So question number 3, are Hollywood marriages, which is, it means very short marriages, common in your country? So they get married and then they get divorced, maybe a couple of years later. Is this something that's happening in your country, and is it something that's happening more now than it did in the past? Akaken.
Kind of, maybe the divorce rate here is 30%.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's still lower than Hollywood, but it's higher than in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the Hollywood marriages doesn't mean necessarily that they only take place in Hollywood. It just means very short
Oh,
marriages.
okay.
And Hollywood was famous for its short marriages because actors and actresses had a tendency to do this, like Elizabeth Taylor, for instance.
Mhm.
So now, anytime we talk about marriages that are only a couple of years, we call them Hollywood marriages. You know. Snigdha, in India, does this happen?
uh, in Bollywood, we can find these Hollywood style marriages,
Hmm.
but most of the Indian common people, it is hard to find their divorced in some days or some months, because they usually, if once they got married, they try to keep it through their lifelong.
Okay, so it's not as common to give up on a marriage. Sometimes, especially if people get married too young, they just give up. They run into problems in marriage, and everybody always does run into problems. It's part of life, and they just go, I give up. I'll go find someone else.
But as Indian marriages are most, we can find our what can I call, our fathers, mothers, and every family members are joined with this bonding, and they are mostly two families bonding creates after one marriage. So they try to build a good relations with each other and try to keep it through their lifelong.
No, that's good. That's probably very healthy. Anyway, thank you so much, both of you, for joining me for this class. I hope that you've learned a little bit and had some fun. I know I have. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.